Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will study about data manipulation language. In data manipulation language we have different queries used for manipulation of data. So we will study about all these queries, and also we will do practice and code all these queries with some examples. So far we studied about SQL in details, and then we studied about select queries, that was under data query language, and today we will study DML. So in DML we have various queries. Now in contents we have all these queries. First we will have introduction of DML, the data manipulation language. Then we will study about insert query. We will check the syntax and possibilities for insert query, and then also we will do some examples in MySQL workbench. Update query is used to update records stored in a table. We will practice update query. Then we have deletion of records in tables. Merge query is also used to combine two or more tables. Call is used to execute a stored procedure or function already present in the database. Then we have explain plan. We will look into this topic, and also log table will be practiced and studied in today's lecture. So we are starting with introduction. DML is short for data manipulation language, which deals with the data manipulation. Actually we have some data in the database, so when we do some operations on database, particularly for modifying that data, so for that purpose we must use DML queries. So includes most common SQL statements such as insert, update, delete, etc., and it is used to store, modify, retrieve, delete and update data in the database. Some books also include select statement in the DML instead of DQL. We have already studied these statements under DQL in our previous lecture. So we are moving forward. Here we have select. As I told you that this select can be under DML or can be under DQL. So select is used for retrieval of data from the database. Then insert, definitely insert is used to add some data into a table, and update is used to modify the existing data in a table. Delete for the deletion of records in database tables. Merge is used to update and insert or combine data from multiple tables. Call is used to execute or call a PL/SQL or JavaScript program. Usually in most of the cases we call stored procedures or transactions. Then we have explain plan. Explain plan is used for the interpretation of the data access path. Actually we will get some information about tables and queries by using this explain keyword. The last thing is log table. Log table is actually used for concurrency. For example, we have multiple users and one user wants a table to be logged for him, so for that purpose log queries are used. The first one is insert. Insert is used for adding new data into the database. This is the format for insert query. First we need to type insert into, these two are keywords, then the table name, and then the columns lying inside the table. Suppose we have 5 columns in a table, so we can mention their names here in the list. Now it's up to our requirement that how many columns do we type here. Like we may omit a column, we can type 4 columns instead of 5 columns in this list under these two parentheses. Then we must type the values after values keyword. So if I type 4 column names in these two parentheses, then I must provide 4 values for these 4 columns. So the first value would be for the first column, second value would be for the second column, and so on. The next style is if we insert data into a database table, when we consider all the attributes in a table, so in that case there is no need to mention the names of attributes. Like in previous example, here we typed the column names. So if there are 5 columns and we are inserting data into all these 5 columns, and so there is no need to type the names of these columns. We can type all these 5 names, but it is better to shrink the query by avoiding this thing, because we are using all the columns, so no need to type there. Suppose we need to enter multiple rows in a single table while using a single insert statement. So for that purpose we must give the sets of values. Now here in this statement we have some sets, like the first set is starting from here and ending till this one, second set starting from here till here, and then third set is from here till here. So what we do actually, we use the same insert statement, and we may give the set of attributes just after the table name. Suppose we have 5 attributes and we need the data to be inserted into 3 attributes. So for that purpose we must type the names of those 3 attributes here, separated by commas. And after that we must use, definitely we use the values keyword, and after values we must type the sets of all possible rows for these 3 attributes in this table. So here we have value 1, value 2 and value 3 for the 3 attributes. These can be more than 3 attributes, and then again second row starting from here ending till this one. So in this way we can insert multiple rows with a single statement. Here in the schemas we have a database named as student, so we will use this database for our examples. So I'm selecting this database by typing use student, so this database will be selected. Now let's check what we have in the basic info table. So select static from basic info, executed, control enter. So we have some result in this table. Now I need to insert data into this basic info. So for that purpose I must type insert into, then the table name is basic info. Now here I have multiple options. So the first one is to write the attribute names here. So the first attribute is reg, then name and fname, name and fname. Now after that we must type values, so we must specify the values for these 3 attributes. So the first one is registration. Here I type CS, let's say 1111, and name is, let's say, ABCD, and F name is, let's say, XYZ. It should be in single quotes because these are strings. So now if I execute this statement, this will add CS1111 and these 2 values in the table at the bottom. Here we will get these values. So execute it. This has been executed. Now let's check the contents of table by using the select statement. Here we will have these values at the bottom of the table. Now second method is to not type the attribute names. So here I don't need to type the names of these attributes. So here I'm typing only basic info, and just after basic info I'm typing here values, and let's say I give CS2222, then ASTF, single quote, ASTF, and here PQR. So these three values will be inserted into basic info, and here we are not mentioning the attributes. So the query has been executed. Now let's check the contents by using select statement, control enter. We got CS222 here. Now I need to insert data into two attributes only. So for that purpose I can mention those two attributes. So I'm mentioning two attributes here, and here let's say we have 3333 comma, and this must be something like QWER, and we don't need the father name here. Now execute it. Now here we have only two attributes. Control enter. This has been executed, and now again select statement for viewing the contents of this table. So here we got CS333, and the last attribute's value is null here because we have not supplied this value. Now we need multiple rows in a single statement. So here I must type this thing, and this is an insert statement, and here we have a single row for these three attributes. Now I'm giving multiple rows, so for that purpose I must, let's say this one is 2, and this one is, let's say, like this, and here we have a. So I'm giving multiple rows in a single statement, so I can easily do it by typing like this. So here we have a single insert statement, and it has 3 rows to be inserted in these 3 attributes. Let me change the values. Now B, C, and here we have D. Similarly, change these values to B, C, and D. Now with this statement we will insert CS111112 and 1314 and 15. Now execute it. This has been executed by pressing control enter. Now select static from the table name is basic info, execute it, control enter. We will have these values, these are present here, 12, 13, 14, 15, and these were due to, I think, previous queries. So here we have these values in the table present due to this insert statement, and we inserted multiple rows in a single statement. We can insert data from another table also, like here we have a select query. So this select query will give us some data from table 1 having a condition. So this selected data can be inserted into table 2 by using this entire query having insert into clause. So similarly, if there's a table and we need to copy the entire data or the entire attributes from that table and to another table, so for that purpose we must use insert query, and inside insert we must type another clause of select statement. So here we will have select inside insert, and this select will select all the attributes from table 1, and if you need all the data, so there is no need of where clause, and if you need a particular data according to a condition, so for that purpose we must use where. Here in this student database we have one another table, that is std_info. In std_info we have three attributes: id, sname, and ifname. Previously we worked in basic info. In basic info also there were three attributes: registration, name, and ifname. Now let's check what we have in basic info. We have some records in basic info. Also let's check std_info. There's nothing in the std_info, so I need to copy some data from basic info into student info. So I may need a where clause if I need to filter out that data, and also I can copy the whole data from basic info into std_info. First, check into basic info. Here we have, under name we have some values, so I need the names starting with A. So for that purpose, select static from basic info and where name like means that name is somehow similar, so I'm using name like and starting with A, and after A we have anything. So this will give us some rows in which the values of name would be starting from A. Execute it. So here we have some values for this select query. Now I'm gonna use this select query in an insert query for adding data into std_info. So this data, this filtered data, will be inserted into std_info. If we type here insert into std_info, so our query would be like insert into std_info and then select static from basic info where name like a%. So these values will be inserted into std_info, this entire query. This is now a single query. Control enter. So this query has been executed. Now look into the std_info. These results are now present in the std_info. We can also specify columns here, like if I type id and sname here and then type reg and name here and provide a condition, so we will get the values from basic info for only two attributes, and those values will be inserted in the id and sname under std_info table. Next query is update query in data manipulation language. Update query is used to modify the existing record in a table. So the query is quite simple. We must type update and then table name and set. After set, we must provide the columns whose values will be changed. So any column, then its new value, another column and new value. And also we must provide a condition for this update query in case we don't provide any conditions, and so that then the whole table, whole column value will be changed. Like we have only two columns in that table, so all the values for those two columns will be changed according to this query in case we don't use where clause. So it is essential to use where clause to target a particular value in the table. Let's check into the basic info. Now I need to change this Ahmed Gul to Ahmed Ali. So for that purpose I must type basic info and then set. The attribute name is name and the new value would be Ahmed Ali, and after that we will use where to target this value. So I'm using reg for this purpose, where reg equals CS222. With the help of this update query, we will change this Ahmad Gul to Ahmad Ali. This has been changed. Now look into the basic info. It's now Ahmad Ali. Previously it was Ahmad Gul. Remember one thing, that we are using primary key in where clause. Suppose if we don't use this primary key, then we may get error. By default this mode is safe mode, so safe mode don't allow us to use update query with non-primary keys. Like here, suppose I type, let's say I type where name equals for this Amin, so the value of Amin would be changed to Ahmad Ali, but it will not happen because we are in safe mode. So I'm executing it. It's not working. Here we got an error for this. You are using safe update mode and you try to update without a key attribute, a key column. So for that purpose we have some options. The first thing is that we can primarily disable this safe mode, so we must type set SQL safe update to 0. So this will change the state of safe update. It will be disabled now. Sorry, we got error. This is updates. Now execute it. It got executed. So now I can change this Amin to, let's say, Amin Ali. Executed now. It got executed. Previously it was not executing due to safe mode. We can check it in the basic info. Here Amin became Amin Ali. So I can enable this safe mode again by simply typing safe updates equal to 1. So executed. Now this safe updates has been enabled. We can permanently disable this safe updates by going or clicking the edit in the menu and then preferences and then selecting SQL editor here in the window and then unchecking this safe updates. So we have editor, preferences, edit, here we have preferences, and here we have SQL editor, and at the bottom we have safe updates here, so you can uncheck this option also to disable the safe updates. Next is delete statements and DML. So if there is some data and we need to delete a particular data, for that purpose we must use delete queries. The query is quite simple. We have to type delete from, just like we used from with select. So delete from and then table name and where and condition. It is just like a simple select statement. So make sure that you are giving the where condition, otherwise the entire data in the table will be deleted. Now here in the basic info I need to delete some data. Let's say I want to delete this Ahmad Ali. So here I must type delete from, table name is basic info and the condition is where registration number equals to CS001. So this value will be deleted. Executed. Now check the table again. So the value has been deleted. CS001 is not present in the table. Merge statement in DML. If you need to merge data of two tables, actually we bring data from one table to another. So for that purpose we can use merge. Merge is actually the same query of insert as we did in the last example, but here note one thing, that we can use ignore to avoid the duplication. So here we have two tables, transaction table and master table. In master table we have 1 2 3, and in transaction we have 3 4 5. So this 3 is actually repeated, duplicated. So with the help of this ignore, this 3 will be ignored second time. So once we execute this query, we will get a result like this. Now the 3 is not repeating here. Then we have call. Call is used to execute a function, procedure, or any subprogram in the SQL. So we can use it with a stored procedure. Now here inside student we have a stored procedure, new procedure. Actually I created this procedure by right clicking this stored procedure and create new procedure. So inside this procedure we have a single query, that is actually select query, select static from basic info. Now I need to execute this procedure, so I must type here call and its name is new procedure. Executed. This has been executed. Actually the content of this procedure is called with the help of this call keyword. Then we have explain. We can also use describe for this explain keyword. Both are same. So we can use this explain to obtain table structure information, then obtaining execution plan information, and also it can be used for obtaining information with explain, analyze. So we have some syntax here for these three. The first one is explain and table name, the second one is explain and a select query, and the third one is explain, analyze, and after that select statement. We will check these all now. So here I'm typing explain and table name is basic info. So we got something about basic info. We have the field type, null, key, default values, extra something. So these are the properties of attributes inside basic info. I can also use this explain with the query, a select query. So here I'm typing explain and then select query, so it will give us some results. So here we have type is simple, the table, then partitions, type, and there are some attributes about this explanation. We can also use explain, analyze, and execute it. So we will get a description about this statement. Then the last thing is log table. Log table is usually used in concurrency. If there are multiple users and every user has its own session, so it is possible that a single user may need a table to be logged for him. So in that case, that user will be able to use the table, and the rest of the users in different sessions will get that table as logged. So we have a query like this, log tables, and then table name. We have two parameters, either read or write. So we can apply these. We will study this topic in details in our concurrency topic later. Here I can lock this std info for the user. Actually I'm using root now, and the connection is local instance. So for this connection, this std info will be locked. So here I type lock tables and std info, and here I write read. So this table will be locked. So this table is now locked. Only this user under local instance MySQL 80 is using this table, and rest of the sessions will not be able to use this table for reading. We can also type write here. We can lock multiple tables, like we use this query. So here we have lock tables. First table, then the mode of lock, whether read or write, then second table, and either read or write, and then we can also unlock these tables with the help of this unlock tables query. So this was all about DML, data manipulation language. We studied about DML, the introduction or the basics about DML. Then we practiced and studied about these queries. We checked all the possible queries about all these. So I hope you will also explore different type of queries in DML, and do practice all these in the MySQL Workbench or MySQL Microsoft SQL Server. The topic is over. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.